After weeks of trying to locate gaskets and a few parts for this 600 Big Bud, Brian says he finally found them all. We shall see. I hope so, because it's getting close to seating. We need to get this thing back together so we can start running it. We got something really interesting going on here. When Coggins, when they gave the gasket, they actually had them rolled up in a cardboard sleeve like this. So what we did is, real quick, before we started anything, we unrolled it and we laid it out on top, and then we slowly put some weights on it so that way it hopefully will relax that gasket and make it more even. So when we put that on there, it's not fighting, trying to get that curl. Hopefully that works. You get the idea. All right, enough talking. Let's get busy. He's looking at some manuals, make sure everything looks good, and we should get to go.
There we go. See what's going down the line. You got an extension on that rod?
I do. I got another one.
Okay. What those are made out of? What?
They are mainly copper.
I was gonna say it's got to be something really light. It almost feels like aluminum.
Yeah.
It's just highly resistant to
wear. Yeah.
to wear. All right, now we got the extension in here. So for those that may not know, these are the camshaft bearings coming out. We decided to just go ahead and change them since we were in here. Camshaft bearings are like as big as a main bearing on a...
On a 350.
Yeah. You don't care about keeping these in order or anything, do you?
Nope. They're going in the garbage.
Okay.
Is it moving?
Yep, it's going. I know, I was stiff there for a bit and then it started to go. It should go quick now.
There we go.
I wonder if you almost see an air chisel on the end of that.
Okay, hold on. Let's go down right there. Good. Yeah, let's pull it out. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
I like to just do a couple taps to see if it's good.
It looks good.
Okay.
Another one. Good. Good, good, good.
Real quick, guys, step aside. Different shirts, different hats, different shaves. We want to talk about something.
Yeah.
Remember these things?
So a year ago, we got the opportunity to machine the pins for the Series 5 Big Bud. And this right here is part of those pins.
The chips.
We thought it'd be really awesome to give you guys the opportunity to have those in your possession. Now, it took a year to finally sell through them all, and we finally got done, and we are going to take all the proceeds and give it to an organization. So we got done with that, and we raised over $13,000.
You guys are amazing.
You guys are awesome.
All the proceeds.
Incredible.
So, no, all $13,000 that came from these cubes, that's sitting on your desks or your shelves or wherever these are, is going to feed the hungry. So it's an organization that's going to help people eat, learn how to eat, grow food to eat, all the good stuff. So we're going to make the check here out soon, sign it off, and hopefully it'll go to some good use. So just know your dollars went to good use. They didn't go to leg arms.
No, we didn't.
Future shaving endeavor.
I know. I gotta work on that. We didn't take a dime. We're good on our word. We just wanted to say you guys are awesome. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yep.
You just made a big difference in somebody's life, and we are very grateful for that. So thank you.
So anyways, hats off to you guys for those that are sitting on your desk, got one of these. No more of these are being made, so sorry, they're gone. You're going to have to find someone that has one. And
he's got one.
I don't know, give him your firstborn or something, and then maybe I'll give it to you.
No, I like my firstborn.
You're right, yeah, okay, not your firstborn. All right, guys, back to work. Thanks again, and yeah, it was a really good deal, so we're happy to be a part of it. Thanks.
Yeah, Brian, what are you doing?
We're going to have a peek at some cylinders here. See what, if anything is looking questionable.
Well, Brian, I don't think we want to look at those cylinders because we don't want to know what kind of damage has occurred, so we don't have to do more work. Because if we don't know, we can be oblivious and just run it.
Well,
but if we know, it's going to eat us apart.
I'll take a picture of it, and we can put it all together, and then you can look at the picture.
Yeah, that looks like it's a little scratched.
It's a little scratched.
Like, a lot. Or is that pretty normal?
I mean, I've seen way worse. But, you know, it's also, it's been running however long. Who knows, it's been that way for who knows how long. But it also is, you're not going to do anything about it right now, though, but you do know now. So that's...
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing.
Yeah, that's a little scratches in there. We figured it'd be, but I mean, we don't know the history on this motor. At some point, it was rebuilt. When it overheated a few years ago, that could have caused part of the problem right there. That, you know, the piston got hot and started squeezing against the cylinder wall. It still runs good, like it still has power. And it starts really well, and so run it. We have to run it. But he can only check the first couple ones because we still have the oil pan on the back. So he'll just get an idea what these 3 look like, or maybe 4.
Well, the first one, the cylinder's all the way up because it's on the top dead center, and these next 3 are all at the bottom of the bore. So really can't see anything. No, I can't. I'm gonna get a pick and see. I can't feel it with just my finger.
So when he says fingernail test, what he's trying to do is he's trying to take his fingernail, reach up inside into the cylinder wall, and see if you can scratch. And you'll see with your fingernail, you can feel how gouged out those cylinder walls are. So that's what he's doing. Luckily for this type of engine and many other engines that are designed like it, they have sleeves in the block. So if you got to rebuild it, you can do an in-frame overhaul. So you basically pull the heads off, and then you take the oil pan off, take the rod bearings off, and then you pop the pistons out, and then you probably have to have a special tool, and it pulls the sleeve out of the block, and then you can put a new sleeve, a new piston, put the connecting rod back in, and you might as well do new bearings on the bottom too. And then, depending on how the heads are, if you really want to go that far, you take the heads down, make sure they're machined flat, check the valve seats on them. And if you're going that far, it just keeps adding up and up and up. And then you're like, well, should I deck the block? And then it's like, well, if at that point you almost need to pull the block out and rebuild it, yeah, that's going to get pricey. So we don't want to talk about that.
The pick doesn't catch on anything, so.
Oh, okay, good. So it's perfect. It's meant for 700 horsepower now. If he said the pick cannot scratch on anything, there's nothing. Wait a minute. Did you add scratches to my motor?
Yep, I did. On the bottom.
Did you? So hey, you're telling me that you added scratches to my motor so it breaks down faster so you can overhaul it and see me again?
I'm sure we'll have plenty of other things to fix before that comes around. So
he misses me. Brian is going to hate what I'm going to say now, though. By the way, this guy just told me it's his birthday. What a sucker.
Oh, man. I should have waited till the end of the day.
Yeah. By the time you see this, it's going to be a late birthday present. Everybody, can you say happy birthday to Brian? Thank you. Appreciate that. Get hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Anymore, you don't machine rotors, you just replace
them. You know?
And we finally have the first plate back on the motor, which is a good thing. Which means we can put the cam back in, the oil pump, and all the gears in the front. Yeah, it's going to take a while. It's already taken a while, but it definitely is a two-man job trying to get that thing to line up with the bolts down below and here and I think Brian needs me. That's all I can tell. I mean, it feels great, actually. It feels great to be needed once in a while. But no, looking good. I'm really excited to see this part back on. So I think the next step is probably the oil pump. Hey, look at that. There's a big camshaft. Let's not break it, because that would be a bad day. So yeah, he just got done putting a little bit of, it's kind of assembly lube, isn't
Assembly
it?
lube, yeah.
Yeah, assembly lube.
Yep.
On the bearings that we installed, he installed. And we should be good to go to slide it in. I just got done using a little bit of brake cleaner and wiping this thing down from debris. And I think we should be good to go. Let's slide that thing in. What do you think, Brian?
Yep.
Okay, I like it. It's time. Perfect. There we go.
Wow, that's heavy. Okay, I'm gonna move back.
Try not to cut your fingers up.
Yeah. Okay, well, you gotta lift up on your end now. Oh, okay.
Sorry. I tried.
Alright. There we go. One more. Push it in. There we go.
Slide. Do you want like a metal plate to put over that installing?
Yeah, be
Or a block?
a block. Yeah, just a 2x4 would be good.
There we go. That's pretty good.
Or at the end of the installer length.
Oh, there you go.
That'll work.
You don't like them leaking around the outside?
Especially when they don't come with anything on them. That's pretty rare these days.
Yeah, amazing we even had it.
Yeah. Glad we did. Or glad you did, I should say.
No, we.
We? Okay,
Yeah,
we.
we.
Just like that. That wasn't too bad.
And you can do your magic.
No, they don't reach that way.
You gotta. Oh, you're going up.
Yeah, I'll go up, just so that we're not all over each other over there.
With the flexing of this bar.
There we go. There we go.
We got to put this pulley back on, and this is a friction-tight pulley that runs the alternator on the engine. We're going to heat it up. There's two different methods him and I have. One, I just heat it up until I think it looks good. Two, I like his method, and you got to tell me.
You heat it up. You heat it up, and as you heat it up, you spit on it, and then when the spit starts to bounce, you're at 100 whatever temperature it is, and it's just right to go right on.
You do realize it's cast and it's going to go crack. If If it cracks, it's on him. we got to see this action.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why we're heating it up is the metal is going to expand. You got to make sure when you're heating it to kind of go around the whole pulley, not just the center. You want to kind of give room for the whole thing to warm up and start to expand. Once it expands enough, then you shove it on there. As it cools, it'll finally start shrinking down, and then it's a friction fit. Pretty cool. There's a lot of things that are done that way. I can tell you right now, there's two different methods. One, he's flipping it and heating it. Me, I would have just kept on slowly heating on the whole thing and then throw it on there. So I'm learning tricks from this guy, which is fantastic.
It's bouncing. See that bubble bouncing? Just like that.
Just like that. That's sweet. That's a really nice fit. Just slid right on. And then we just let it sit there. And sometimes if I'm feeling antsy, I'll take like the air from a air hose, and I'll just lightly blow on it. So that way you're trying to cool it down a little bit faster. And the reason why is you got a seal back there that you do not want it to cook. So something like where he's blowing on it, just putting a little bit of airflow on it, it's not going to hurt the cast, and it's not going to hurt the metal. But you definitely don't want to dump a lot of cold water on it, because if you do that, you'll have a big problem of, well, it'll probably crack and break, and then you have more issues. So some more tape.
There are lots, well, I shouldn't say lots of times. There's been many times that I'm working on stuff out at the farm. Wish my dad was still around, because just need that one extra hand, you know?
And it's nice when you get to my age and you step away and they come. I don't remember what it was, but I kind of remember first time I was going to lift something, and I looked at it and then I stepped away, and then they lifted it. And I'm going, I arrived. All right, Brian has most of the plumbing all done around the engine. There's a lot of hoses, a lot of ports for just different aspects of cooling, because it's an aftercooler and other items. The air compressor pump, it's cooled, and they got lines running all over the place. So I think we found most of the connections and got them almost done. So the next step on this side is going to be the radiator. So we'll tackle that. We're getting close to the end of the day here. We'll tackle that the next day. And then the top of the engine needs to be done to put all the rack across there that we took off to get the cam out. So we're making progress. Awesome.
Back in the shop, and these guys are getting ready to put the radiator on. We got Brian's truck. We were going to use the skid steer. We're like, why would we use the skid steer? We have the crane on his truck, conveniently right in the spot where we need it to be. So we're going to go ahead and use that to pick that up to go there. And then we got to do some adjustments as far as lining it up, because last time we put the radiator on, it was rubbing right here. So we got to try to find what's going on there, address that. But got to get the radiator on, then we get the fluid in, and then they can run the overhead and do a couple other things at the top of this, so that way it's ready to start. That's pretty sweet. Don't need to put anything down on this, do we? They don't have any rubber or anything. Do you want to make something?
No, because it's tight. It's solid against it.
Yeah. Well, how do you tilt it then if it's solid?
That's what this is for.
But if it's bolted solid, how does it tilt without flexing? I don't think you can. There you go. Yeah, that'll fit now. Oh yeah, it needs to go on the side.
There's the hose.
Oh no, that's fine. That's not part of it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. So it's in place, not bolted securely. Obviously, it's got to come back in some more. We got to hook these hoses up, these lines. But at least now we're done with the crane. That worked out slick.
Right, I'm done. April Fools. Sorry.
Oh, you think you're funny? Oh,
You gotta fit
that
that
actually.
in once during it today.
That was kind of funny. I was gonna say that was quick. I mean, it might rattle a little bit while we're driving it, and pretty soon smoke and.
It's gonna come loose. I took them all loose. They're not gonna stay.
So how does it feel to do this the third time over, Brian?
Practice makes perfect.
Is this the third time? Because the
Third
first
time on this one.
Yeah, because you came out, adjusted all of
Adjusted
them.
them. And
Then we had the injectors pull out.
replaced them.
Oh, so this would be the fourth.
No.
Twice, you
Oh,
said.
now, so I technically, yeah. So I adjusted them the first time, then I checked them that next time. Then we replaced them, so this would technically be 4
Technically 4 times. All right, Brian.
in less than a year.
Let's make it a record, and let's do 5 times. Work harder, not smarter. Isn't that the term, how it's supposed to go? We put the barrel on top of the skid steer. We've got this little doohickey thingy here. You add air to it, and then it goes blip into the radiator. Working pretty good.
All right.
All right, now that we got it all back together, I think it's about time for us to start cranking this thing over and hopefully get it to fire up. The only thing that's going to suck is all the fuel is drained back into the system, so it's going to take a while. But that's okay, because like Brian said and made a good point, let it lubricate the inside a little bit with oil. Go ahead. Yeah. Put a little bit of juice on that thing. I've got a extension cord here, Nick, so yeah, put a little bit of juice on it. So this is actually a 24 volt system on it for the starter. And what we have is there's 2 batteries. The other side is a 12 volt. Then it goes to this one in series and creates a 24 volt. But when you're charging, as long as you put them on the same terminal on the charger, you'll be fine on either battery. You just don't want to ever, like, put the ground on the frame and put it on the positive on the battery, because it would be bad.
Do you have any oil pressure up there?
No. So right now we're not getting any oil pressure off of the engine. So it might just be an air pocket and it's not priming itself in the oil pump yet. Or there's something else that's kind of not looking right. Now you're probably thinking, well, what if it's a bad gauge or a bad wire? Well, we have 2 little gauges, one on the side of the engine, one inside the cab. So, oh, we'll play with it for a little bit. Hopefully get something. We're gonna pull a valve cover off and just watch it as it's rotating to see if there's any oil being pumped around. Let's pull this up here.
Looks dry.
Yeah, it sure does.
And this is why we wanted Brian to be here when we started up, because he's got little tricks and stuff up his sleeve to find out why. At least I'm hoping he does. I bet anything it's just an air pocket that's not letting the pump prime. Because where the pump is located is actually above the engine oil. Right here is the pump for the oil.
Can we just fill the oil
If you
pan
look
up
up-
so it leaks out of the dipstick and then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. You can do that too. But anyways, if you look at where the oil is sitting down here, it's got to pump it up into the oil pump right here. Maybe there's a port that we can pressurize oil in and get it in. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. Just not getting the oil to lubricate the cam and lifters and rockers and all that good stuff. And that's not good to start it up and not have it lubricated. So here's what we're gonna do. We decided to take the line off the turbo, the pressure line for the oil, and we're going to, we've got a little fitting to adapt the new hydraulic tank, the engine oil tank to it, and we're gonna start pumping oil back through, and hopefully it goes into the engine oil pump and gets it to be able to prime. In theory, it should work, but there's like an air bubble or something that's just not letting it, at least that's what we're thinking, not letting it suck the oil up into it. So, yeah, let's see how this works. I mean, technically, you might be able to see some oil squirting out of this top here if it really primes it, right?
Yeah.
How full are we gonna get this motor?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're just adding oil to the engine. We'll figure it out. Well, we put a gallon of oil back through the line into the block. And where this line goes, it goes pretty close to where the oil pump is located on the engine. So we're just hoping that that will help put some oil into the oil pump. Keyword hoping. And then what we'll do is we'll disconnect this line, hook it back up to the turbo, and then we'll try cranking it over a little bit and then see if we get any oil pressure. And then if it gets a little bit of oil pressure, you should be able to see a little oil running around on top of these valves and rocker arms, and that's a good sign. That's what we want. What we're seeing right now is not a good sign.
I'm just here to add pressure on Brian. Or leg arms.
Yeah. Don't worry, he just pushed me over
That's
today.
the turn side.
All right, well, we'll try it and see how it goes. All right, he's gonna get in there, start cranking it over, and I believe so. Hopefully get some oil pressure. You can see that gauge pretty good, can't you? Nice. You ready? Guess so.
There's 40 pounds of oil pressure, like, boom!
Does that thumbs up mean it started or mean there's oil pressure?
There's oil pressure. I don't care about the start. I
Huh.
just want oil pressure.
Good. Hey Brian, are you happy?
Yeah, well, I want to see it up here first, though.
The only thing is, did you notice how much dirt and stuff went all around into that motor right there?
That was bad. It'll live.
There's a little bit of ether left in the system, so.
It's the least it's going to see on this farm.
Try it again.
Was that that's what it ran on, was that ether?
I think it was ether.
Up above behind you. Oh, never mind. It's just puffing smoke out.
Well, that's a good sign.
That's fuel going to it.
Yeah.
It's just about ready to hit.
It is.
Do you want me to tap a little ether in it?
No,
No.
I think it's,
We're getting close to have some oil up here, looks like to me.
Putting tons of ether in it, just, you know, like the brake cleaner, just.
You know, you do know that brake or ether dries it out, makes the oil not work, right? That's what we're going for here. All right, try it again. There it is.
You look at that. It lives. No big puddles of oil
open another door in the shop. I know. Old engines. That's not as clean as the nice new stuff. But it is a good sound, you gotta admit that, right? That's a good sound.
Right on. That's exactly what we wanted. That's exactly what we thought too. It was just an air pocket on the bottom of the motor. Would not let that oil get siphoned up into the oil pump. Once we backfed oil back through the system, it really got its oil to prime.
Go for it.
It's running. It's back together, except for there's no hood. We'll figure that out. But anyways, I want to say thank you to Brian for stopping by and spending a lot of time on this tractor and helping us with it, because I'd be a little over in my head. You know, I probably wouldn't be able to figure it all out. But thanks, Brian.
You're welcome. Appreciate the business and the definitely enjoyed the time here. That's for sure.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, anyways, Brian, he's got mad skills, and hopefully one day I'll be just like this guy. So,
Yeah, we can get you there. No problem.
I just need a truck.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, thanks, Brian.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Take it easy.
She's ready for a hood, isn't she? All right. Isn't this nice? Look at this. No oil. No oil right there. It is clean. I hope it lasts a long time. We'll see. But maybe we'll get 10, 15 years out of it before it starts leaking again. Maybe then we'll have to do a repower. All I know is it's going to make life a lot better. And it was nice to see the inside of that thing. So with that, we need to get a hood on it. I got the crane, the boom truck, the digger derrick ready, sitting over here by the hood. We're going to take this bud, drive it over there, and pull that hood up, put it on it, and then take the tractor up and down the road a few times, make sure everything's great, and then hook it onto that air drill with that beautiful 3555 Case IH air cart and the 70-foot Flexo toolbar. Let's do it. All right, let's start this thing. I was just thinking about it as I was driving this a minute ago without a hood on. Why do we have hoods on everything? I guess it keeps the elements off of it, but I mean, really, that is the best cooling right there. That airflow situation, though technically I guess you might get some hot air to suck around and circulate in the radiator there, depending on which way the wind's blowing, but that could happen anyways. But I mean, do you really need a pretty hood, or is that good enough for itself right there? I don't know, I kind of like that. Start her up. That flange needs tightened right there. Little bit of exhaust coming out. All right, how are we doing on air? We're low. Hang on a second. There's its little brother. Wait. No, sorry. That's its big brother. Because that one's older than this one. And that's its big brother. Big little brother. Not there yet? Not there yet. We're just about there. Reverse. A little bit of throttle. Don't drive into the shop. All right, we're going the right way. It just feels so good this time of the year. Just feels so good. The old iron, driving these big buds around the farm. It's just a good feeling. Can't wait to get in the field. You know, I've had people say, why do you keep spending money working on these things? Well, yeah, we do spend money to work on them. But think about it. To replace this tractor brand new, $600,000 to $700,000, upwards of $800,000 at sometimes. Or we throw $5,000 to $10,000 at it a year. this keeps going for years and years and years until eventually maybe we'll be in a position where we can get a newer tractor. Right now we just can't afford that. But the thing is with this is it's had a completely rebuilt center section, 100% rebuilt, every part, completely updated auto steer, auto guidance, hydraulic system, integrated auto steer with a Pro 700 ISO bus ready to hook on everything. And now we just have the engine, which has been rebuilt not terribly long ago, but all that sealed up and cleaned up. Radiator has been rebuilt, and the transmission was gone through about 10 years ago. So for a 10 to 15,000 hour tractor and the nice new Titan Tire tires on it, it's ready to keep working. So
And this goes with it.
he does go with it.
Because I work on it.
He has to be here to work on it. All right, hood's on. I'm gonna take it down the road. Let's see if we can go to the high range. Well, there was a switch on the back of the transmission that was giving us trouble last year, and it was struggling to go into high range, so roading was slow. I think we got it fixed, so let's just test it and see if it drifts smoothly. All right, let's go to high. Let's see here. Hold reverse. There we go. It says high reverse, high one, there we go. We are high. See? High. What are we doing? 12.2. Let's go to 3. 1800 RPM. There we go. Oh, it feels good. 20 miles an hour. And we got a hop. Yeah, that's difficult. Sweet! Looks like transmission's working great. Last year we didn't have high range. Now we have high range back. Thanks to our buddy Darren. Darren is a fellow Big Bud owner. He's got a highly modified 525/50 set at 600 horse with a Steiger cab on it, I believe. Anyways, well, Darren helped design this shift box, and he's really saved us a lot because the old shift boxes cannot be repaired anymore for these old power twin disc transmissions. There's no one out there to do it, and if they go away, you don't have a transmission you can shift. And Darren found a way to get these, I think it's an Allison shift box, and he worked with them and got harnesses and everything set up to talk this transmission, and it shifts awesome. So if you guys are running a Series 3 Big Bud 525/50 with a twin disc in it, or you're running a twin disc transmission, chances are it might work. Check in the link in the description below or the address, and that's Darren's information. Give him a call. He's got a couple of these on hand. He makes them to order, and it's well worth it. He's guys like that's what keeps these machines running. So he's important. So if you guys need one, I would definitely check him out. Darren's the guy. It helps solve a lot of problems with this tractor, I'll tell you that right now. We've had trouble with it going into gear when it shouldn't, going out of gear when it shouldn't, clutch packs that should be engaged at the same time, engaged at the same time. The reason lately I had is I could not get to go into high range at all. You know what fixed that? A new harness from the box down to the transmission that Darren made. The old harness, I don't know, something wasn't talking right.